Some people don't break when life hits them too hard. They go quiet in a way that feels unsettling if you look closely. They laugh at the right moments, say the right things, and function well enough that no one asks questions. But inside, something has shifted permanently, like a room that once had windows and now only has walls. This is the psychology of people who have gone through too much, and it rarely looks the way movies portray it. When someone experiences repeated emotional pain, the mind doesn't react with constant sadness. Instead, it adapts, and adaptation is where the real change begins. The nervous system learns that hope is expensive and expectations are dangerous. So the mind lowers its emotional volume to survive without collapsing. At first, this looks like strength, because the person keeps moving forward despite everything. They become reliable, composed, and unusually calm in situations that shake others. People admire their resilience without realizing what it costs them to build it. But wait till you hear this part, because resilience built from trauma is not the same as resilience built from safety. Psychologically, people who've been through too much develop hyper-awareness. They read rooms quickly, sense emotional shifts early, and anticipate problems before they happen. This isn't intuition, it's a survival skill sharpened by past damage. Their brain learned that being unprepared once was painful enough to never risk it again. Over time, emotional detachment begins to look like maturity. They stop reacting strongly, not because they are wise, but because reacting once hurt too much. Joy becomes quieter, excitement becomes controlled, and disappointment is expected. Life feels flatter, but flatter feels safer than sharp emotional highs and lows. Another common change is the way they relate to people. They don't trust easily, not because they think everyone is bad, but because trust once cost them deeply. Connection feels desirable, but dangerous at the same time. So they keep people close enough to function, but far enough to protect themselves. What happens next will surprise you, because many of these people don't feel broken at all. They feel realistic, grounded, and sometimes even superior for seeing the world as it really is. Optimism starts to feel naive, and hope feels like a setup for disappointment. This mindset keeps them emotionally safe, but also quietly isolated. The most misunderstood part is that they often blame themselves for not feeling like they used to. They wonder why joy doesn't land the same way, or why love feels distant even when it's present. They assume something is wrong with them, not realizing their reactions make perfect psychological sense. And this is only the beginning of the story, because the next part explores what this survival mode gives them, what it steals from them, and how it shapes the rest of their life. The survival mode that once protected them eventually becomes the environment they live inside. They don't notice it happening, because it feels normal to be guarded, careful, and emotionally economical. Life becomes about minimizing damage rather than maximizing meaning. This is where the psychology turns quiet but heavy. People who have gone through too much often confuse peace with numbness. They feel calm, but it's the calm of low expectations rather than deep fulfillment. Nothing excites them too much, but nothing devastates them either. At first, this feels like balance, until they realize they are rarely moved by anything at all. But wait till you hear this part, because this emotional flattening comes with hidden power. These individuals become incredibly strong under pressure, because chaos no longer shocks them. They have already seen worst-case scenarios, so fear loses its grip. While others panic, they stay composed. That composure commands respect, psychologically. This strength often turns into leadership, even when they don't seek it. People lean on them in crises, trusting their calm and clarity. They become the steady one, the rational one, the one who doesn't fall apart. Yet very few people ask who supports them when they finally feel tired. Another unexpected shift happens in how they understand pain in others. They develop deep empathy, but it is quiet and practical rather than emotional. They don't rush to comfort with words because they know words rarely fix anything. Instead, they offer presence, solutions, or silence, which can feel profoundly grounding. However, the cost of this strength is often delayed grief. Unprocessed pain doesn't disappear. It waits for safer moments to surface. It can appear years later as emptiness, fatigue, or a sense that life lacks color. The body remembers what the mind learned to ignore. Many people in this state ask a dangerous question without realizing it. They ask whether healing would make them weaker or less prepared for life. Pain shaped their identity, their intelligence, and their emotional discipline. Letting go can feel like losing the very armor that kept them alive. What happens next will surprise you, because healing doesn't erase strength. It changes the reason behind it. Instead of strength born from fear, it becomes strength born from choice. Instead of control, there is flexibility, and instead of numbness, there is selective openness. Psychologically, true healing allows joy without navet and connection without self-betrayal. It teaches the nervous system that safety can exist without constant vigilance. The world doesn't suddenly become gentle, but it becomes negotiable again. Life stops being something to endure and starts becoming something to participate in. If this story felt uncomfortably familiar, that's not weakness speaking. It's awareness knocking quietly, asking to be acknowledged. If you want more deep psychological stories that explain what people rarely talk about, support this space. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what survival taught you about yourself.